we
Happy New
had this
Year.
Happy New Year, this period of where I regret it every year, because I go with strict intentions to the holidays, but I break them every year because I say I will not eat that much, I will not eat bread, I will not do that, and at the end, and I end up doing nothing of the things that I said, and I eat a lot, and I eat all the wrong things.
That's what it's
And
about. It wouldn't be fun otherwise, right?
exactly, we have to drop those
Embrace it.
illusions. Yes, drop it. I mean, say for 10 days, I will make an exception.
Yeah.
So no guilt feelings. After 10 days, we take over.
Yeah.
And
No,
after
it's
10
good.
days, you take over and you start with a New Year's resolution. You say, this year, I will not drink alcohol. I will not do this. I
We'll
will
do
work every
exercise. I
day.
go to the gym.
I will go to the
I
gym.
lose
Exactly.
weight.
The gym thing is the pinnacle of the New Year's
Yeah.
resolution. So, but I think 90%, I don't know the exact percentage, but most of the people, they give up very soon on the New Year's resolution. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I've been reading about that too. That I think it's like by February 19th, or even by January, mid-January, some of them, but like February 19th is like lost and gone. Most of people's New Year's resolution. I mean, I did it. I like everybody. I did it for years, and obviously every year it's like the big things. It's like I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to gym, and I mean, they don't work because they're just, first of all, usually they're just too big, these goals, and then also they're not specific enough. And then you set yourself these goals, but you don't then create a plan or a strategy on how you're going to accomplish them, right? So saying I'm going to go to the gym is great. You go, you get you pay your membership, you buy
Yes.
the nice shoes, you get the nice gear, and then you start showing up, and then you realize, well, actually this is work, and oh, I don't have time, and you quickly fall off because you haven't really committed to, I'm going to go 3 times a week, and this is, or I'm going to start twice a week, or I'm going to do these classes. And it's because people don't really map out a plan over time, and or they're not specific enough, I think, that they fall off those the bandwagon. And then you have to put in place a strategy, maybe have a buddy you're going with, or have a plan. You can't just say I'm going to do this but have no plan, because it's like everything. If you have a goal
But
and no
why
strategy, you're never going to get
why is the New Year's resolution fail, or people fail to accomplish? Because you know what are my thoughts? My thoughts are, first of all, motivation, it doesn't work, because
there. Yeah,
motivation is something, it's an
it's not enough.
emotion.
It's important, but it's not enough.
It's important, it helps sometimes, but you cannot rely on motivation, because
You need a
there are
system.
days where you are not motivated.
No, you need a
So that
system.
is one thing. The second thing, and I come to this famous guy, Jocko Willing, that says discipline equals freedom, which I agree that discipline equals freedom, but discipline doesn't work either in the long run. Because what is the concept of discipline? That you will push yourself to achieve something. So your nature wants to do A, and you say no, you will do what we said we're going to do, which the biggest enemy for that, for me, is that you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Do you want really to go? That's the biggest, let's say, demon that I have in my head. That says, is it worth it at the end to go all this? Because I mean, why shouldn't I have a nice life? Why shouldn't I eat that chocolate? Why should I restrict myself from this, from that? I work all the day, comes the night. Shouldn't I drink a glass of wine? No. Should I take it out? I can't take it out, but I
I think,
mean, I
to
don't
your
know.
point, what you're saying is why. So why is it important for you to achieve this goal? Because if you're talking about motivation, if your motivation to achieve it is not strong enough, well, obviously you're not going to stick to it. If your motivation is something that's really important to you, there's more chances that you're actually going to stick to it. So asking yourself why you want to do this, is it because everybody else does it, or is it because, well, because that's what we do, every year we make resolutions and we just do and we don't stick to them? Or is it because, I want to go to the gym because I want to develop healthy habits, because I want to be healthy and I want to be able to grow old and, maintain my mobility. And, like, what is the reason, the deep down reason that you're wanting to do these things? Because I think if you can identify that, that's going to help you.
The deep down reason is a much greater factor of achieving your goals and New Year's resolutions and decisions that you take. It's more than discipline.
Yeah.
But I've heard Mark Manson, which is a guy that I really love, because I find a lot of very in-depth knowledge coming out of his books and of his YouTube videos. So he says that those guys that they do those things, that they wake up at 4:30 in the morning and they go to run 20 kilometers, and they actually enjoy that. So I think the main, we tend to do the things that are inside our comfort zone, and growth, it's outside of the comfort zone in every term, not only in the terms of physical activity, but I see myself with my work, right? So the traditional path and the let's say the easy, let's say, it's not easy, but it's easy in terms of it doesn't challenge me out of my comfort zone, is to do the work that I do, but my work actually should be to work on all these things to grow my business. That is my work as the head of the business that I have. But it's a topic that I'm not that kind of an expert on that. It requires me to educate myself in depth, and that requires me to take the time and the energy and the mindset to be a student again, to start experimenting. And all these things are things that they take me outside of my comfort zone, and are things that I go and I avoid them. And then we stay in what we do, and we, as English people say, or Americans, you double down, you triple down on your strengths, which makes sense till a certain degree.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make you a better person at the end of the day.
Yeah. But also, I think, you mentioned like the people getting up at 4 a.m. and all these, 5 o'clock club, 5 a.m. club and things like that. I mean, these things work for certain people. I don't think you cannot put everybody in a box. Like, you need to figure out what works for you. So there's so many techniques out there. So if you want to achieve your goal, some people are just better if they have an accountability partner. If they don't, they just can't do it. So maybe that's what you need. But some other people, they're very good at doing it on their own, but they're maybe not morning people. They want to do it in the evening. So I think it's about not using all these things as excuses. So I can't get up at 5 a.m. It's figuring out what works for you, because you have more chances of sticking to something if it works in your lifestyle, and if it works in your way of being. So trying to go against who you are, or create loads of hurdles to jump through to be able to achieve that goal is a sure thing that you're never going to get there. And so I think
how you do it, Maria, but how you do it. I mean, you have something that is.
You have to experiment. It's about trying things and seeing what works. I mean, personally, I love one book that I would totally recommend is Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've read it.
Yes, I know. I have
I love his approach of, it's not about so much setting goals. It's about building the habits that are going to get you to your goals. So it's again, going back to what I was saying, you have to have a plan or a strategy. So you decide your goal is to run a marathon. Obviously, you're not going to, go down tomorrow and start running like 10 miles the next day. You have to build that habit. And for some people, it's going to be easy to just go down and start running. And, after a few weeks, they're able to run a bit more. Some people have never run in their life, and they have to start about just putting on their shoes and going down and walking a little bit. And
Yes.
it's about building the habit. But not everybody starts from the same point. And I like this idea of, focusing more on the habits and the little actions rather than focusing always on the big goal, because a mountain is huge. And, if you look at it, you think, oh, probably I can't climb that mountain. But if you start like one step at a time, suddenly you realize you're halfway there. So I think it's about focusing on the first step and then the next one, and just consistently showing up. And it's about consistency, and that consistency can come by, some people are able to do it alone, but again, maybe you might need systems to help you, other people, or reminders, or creating ways to to take away the blockers, like things that might pull you off course, making sure that they're not in the way. And so it's really about having a plan.
Yes, I think the consistency thing it's a key thing from what you say. Consistency and showing up every day, let's say in the gym, or doing every day your work, it's at the end it piles up and you're going to see the difference. And I think the don't expect. So I see big results in things where I let it go. I said, okay, let me do this as good as I can, and I will not check the results. And then the results, they come by themselves. They come automatically.
Take care of themselves.
So something that I changed a lot in my life, and I think it was a very positive step for me, and also for the people that work with me together, is to stop, because you push yourself in order to do certain things, and you adapt this mentality, and you start behaving against other people in the same way. So let me push the salespeople to sell more. It's not the way it works. And once you let pushing, and you have this natural, things should come naturally. Not to force them to come. So if you force things, it might work for a couple of times, but in the long run, it's not going to work. It's going to turn against you.
Yeah, you can't push constantly. You have to create a system or habits or something that's sustainable in the long term. Because if you want to reach big goals, it takes time. And so to reach those goals, you have to acknowledge that it's going to take time, and create maybe some milestones along the way that you want to meet to get there. But I think you have to be patient and just showing up consistently. And some days you won't be able to show up, and that's okay. But make sure the next day you get back on the saddle and do it. It's like we're all human. We're never perfect, and it's about, I think also, if you fail one day, it's like, okay, it's not the end of the world. I've been doing like 3 months. 3 months I've been going to the gym 3 times a week. This week I only went twice. Okay, next week I'm going back 3 times a week, and just not beating yourself up and thinking, oh, the world, it's finished. I've failed my goal. The world, it's over. It's about showing up again, and just getting back on the saddle.
Yes, be more forgiving with yourself. That failure is part of the process,
and that's fine.
Show up every day. A lot of people don't make that easier for you. But by showing up every day, in some point, you will become better. I see it with myself by playing paddle. That I don't know if you know that I played paddle the last month. Yes. So I started with on a 0 level, and I can tell that some players I played with, they didn't tell me because they are very polite, but they were, no one wants to be with a loser together in the same team. Okay?
The beginner, not the beginner.
The beginner, yes, the beginner. But to face reality, you can sense nothing tragic, but you can sense that they. But I mean, I feel now after playing 3 months consistently as much as I can, because it doesn't always depend on me.
Yeah.
But I'm chasing to find games to play.
Yeah.
So I'm way better. So I improve my game dramatically.
Yeah.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
And disregard the audience, or be there every day, do the best that you can do.
And everybody had to start
And
somewhere, you know. I mean,
you're gonna
and one
arrive
day,
somewhere.
and now you're going to get to a point where you're playing, and there's going to be some rookie that's going to come in, and you're going to have to show the same patience as they showed with you, and that's what it's about.
I've read somewhere, if you do something consistently for 100 days in a row,
It becomes-
every day,
Yeah.
you will become better than 95% of the people.
That's true. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I read
no?
that too. Yeah.
So if I play paddle for 100 days in a row,
Non-stop, yeah.
after 100 days, I will be 95% better than the rest of the population in paddle.
And it's not a lot, 100 days when you think of it, and you know,
It's not a lot.
the
It's
grand
three,
scheme
4
of
months.
things. So yeah, we can all do it. It's about, you know, as you said, a bit motivation. It's about putting in place the systems. It's about identifying why we want to do it, and really sticking to it, being consistent, and creating systems to help you get where you want to, right? Even the days where it's really hard or you don't want to, and we've all been there. I mean, especially in winter when it's cold and wet.
Yes, what you said before, the word showing up, that is always something that I always say to the sales team, that, I mean, place the call.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You have nothing to lose.
You have, what's going to happen to you? He might say no. So if you don't call,
it's no anyway.
You have a no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone said that to me early on in my career, and I always remembered it. It's like, if you don't ask, no anyway.
If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
It's already no. Yeah.
And you never know. You never know. I had some sales. I can tell you that I had once a very big sale. I sold a very expensive software in a German company. I called them. It was a cold call completely, out of the blue, to some very big guy, to a very big company, to a very big German company. And I mean, it was obviously luck involved as well, because the time that I called him, those guys were searching exactly to find a similar solution like the one we were selling. And they came back to me after 2 days.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, we had this call organized. We want to learn more. And they bought. That was amazing.
Yeah. All the stars aligned.
Exactly. Yeah. The stars aligned, as you say. The second thing is, on what you say, is make things a little bit easier and make the little steps. So if you want to go to run, put your running shoes next to your bed. So in the morning, you're going to say, okay, I will stand up and I will put my running shoes. I will not go to run. I will put my running shoes. And once I put my running shoes, we take it from there and we see.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Yeah. And it's about finding, as I said, what works for you. I know that if I don't go to the gym in the morning, I'm not going to go. At the end of the day, it never works for me. Usually I have other things. Your day cascades, other things happen, and then you're tired. So for me, I have to go first thing in the morning. And that's been what I've been doing for the past 12 years, is the gym is first thing in the morning, exercise first thing in the morning before anything else. And because I'm doing that, I know I can stick to it. If I were to try and do it at any other time of the day, I know that I would have dropped out of it long ago.
Yes.
So it's figuring out what works for you. What are the blockers? Exactly. What are the things that, hold you back? And then thinking about what are the little habits you might want to put in place, and just working from there. For me, I didn't do New Year's resolutions. I do my goals. And then once I've set my goals, I'm going to break down into small steps, really incremental, what needs to happen, and like, what's my first action now to today for this goal, this week, this month, this quarter, like, and how am I going to measure it? And it may change, but at least I'm going there. And even if it changes a little bit, I know that I'm still going to get where I'm trying to go. So
yes, what I want to do is I don't want to push myself anymore, Maria. I mean, a certain degree of pushing needs to be there, obviously, but things should come naturally. And I think I believe on that, good business comes naturally, good relationships come naturally. Everything good in life comes somehow automatically and easily and naturally. It doesn't come forced. So I because I'm a guy that I can push myself a lot, but it's not the right way. It's not the proper way to go. I sense it. It takes a degree of maturity and of age, because the way I think now, I wasn't thinking always.
And you're more confident in yourself.
Absolutely.
That comes with experience too, right?
It should come naturally. I can tell. I say more no's to potential business because I don't see a perspective. I can sense a good business if it's a good fit. The good fit shows from the beginning. And the good fit most of the times drives also to a very fruitful collaboration, let's say. Of course. And with people is the same. There is a good vibe. So things come somehow, the stars align, as you say. Yeah.
What about you? So what are your resolutions this year, if you have any?
Yes, my resolution this year is not to push myself, to let things happen naturally. And I want to, I know what I need to do to work on all those things that bring my business forward, to work on my business and not in my business. And that's easier said than done because I'm a control freak and I want to do things myself. However,
your baby.
It's something that keeps me behind. It doesn't bring me forward. So I will take the risk to
step outside your comfort zone.
Step outside from my comfort zone in terms of working on all those things where I'm not good, and giving. I also discovered that people are more intelligent than you think they are. So you trust them to do that, and you say, okay, it's going to become a disaster. And at the end, no, they managed to do it very good.
There you are.
So these fears are my fears and are false fears, obviously. So I need to let go and give to people. I until recently, I was doing a lot of processes myself. I mean, stupid things that everybody could do, and very kind of them. But sensitive also. You know, okay, if the web page breaks down, we will fix it. It's not going to be the end of the world. I will take the risk.
Cool.
Let's see.
Bravo. And we'll see at the end of the year how it went.
Yeah, let's see how it's going to go. I have a positive feeling, however. Our business goes very good. It started very good. It ended very good the year. So I'm optimistic.
Cool.
Good. Okay, Maria, thank you very much for the first meeting of the year.
Thank you.
Let's hope we're going to have everybody and all the viewers of us a very prosperous 2024. And let's have the same meeting, how we achieve the New Year's resolution of 2024 at the end of this year, and see
do a year review.
if we should be entitled to talk about those things.
Cool.
Good. So thank you. We see each other in 2 weeks again.
2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Goodbye.